students, welcome to the lecture on service areas in a hotel, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Describe system and services. Discuss restaurants and their subdivisions. Explain duties and responsibilities of restaurant staff. Understand new trends in hotel room service. Define ancillary departments. India, a country with snow-peaked mountains, palm-fringed beaches and historic mountains, is a traveler's paradise. Being a country catering to the tourists around the world, it has all the facilities required for making the tourism sector a success. India caters to the needs of every pocket. Generally, hotels are complex and costly when it comes to maintenance, with various uses of spaces that have different schedules and uses for guest rooms, restaurants, health club, swimming pool, retail store, and each has a functional engineering system required for its maintenance. Maintenance therefore has to be done throughout the year, requiring competent staff to undertake building services, operation and maintenance, supplemented by outsourced contractors. In the hospitality industry, the maintenance of the engineering systems is important despite its complex processes, as its effectiveness will directly affect the quality of hotel service, food and beverage, which have direct and significant effect on guests' impression of the hotel. As such, the development of a suitable maintenance strategy is gaining publicity. Greater reliance is placed on it to keep high system availability and achieve acceptable environmental conditions for the occupants. Powell and Watson confirmed that most hotel rooms are accommodation-led because most revenue comes from sales of these rooms. Of the three core consumer products in the hotel, accommodation, food and beverage, accommodation standards significantly affect the customer's satisfaction and inclination to return. Maintenance management also plays a main role in improving energy efficiency and keeping the total costs optimal. The costs of operating and maintaining the engineering systems, in particular the in-house manpower, outsourced contractors, energy consumption and equipment deterioration must be properly monitored and controlled. Despite the importance of maintenance in this industry, it is characterized by the personal ownership and management structure. There is a division in a hotel where one party owns the 8 physical assets of the hotel and an independent second party manages the hotel. The writer further mentioned that it is interesting to note that operators need to maintain brand image can also be a source of owner-operator conflict, as brand image maintenance may compete with profit maximization. Students, can you answer some questions? What maintenance strategies do hotel operators adopt for efficient delivery of services, and what difficulty do they encounter in implementation? Anyways, in the light of this principal agent problem, some hotel operators have been successful at keeping standards and maintenance management strategies in their hotels, and to keep up in this competitive industry, the causes of their success must be learnt and derived from answers in this study as a motivation to real estate investors and other actors who are into hotel development and management. Students, tell us what influential factors are considered in making decision on hotel maintenance. The hotel industry has two main categories of customers: the corporate guests who patronize hotels for business and conference meetings, primarily using facilities from Monday till Thursday, and leisure guests who usually stay in hotels on weekends and holiday periods. Moving on further, let's talk about system and services. Service quality is a way to manage business processes in order to ensure total satisfaction to the customer on all levels, internal and external. It is an approach that leads to an increase of competitiveness, effectiveness, and flexibility of the entire company. Benefits arising from a high quality are reflected in a more competitive positioning on the market, but also in a better business result. This statement can be proved by measuring the increase of profitability and market share. The result of a research carried out in the USA on a sample of 2,600 companies in the period between 1987 and 2002 show a direct connection between the level of quality of goods and services and their financial performances. As a matter of fact, it was observed that all indicators of success of a company like market share, return on investments, property turnover coefficient, and show significantly more value in companies with a higher level of goods and services. A restaurant is a retail establishment that serves prepared food to customers. Service is generally for eating on premises, though the term has been used to include takeout establishments and food delivery services. The term covers many types of venues and a diversity of styles of cuisine and service. Restaurants are sometimes a feature of a large complex, typically a hotel, where the dining amenities are provided for the convenience of the residents and, of course, for the hotel with a singular objective to maximize their potential revenue. Such restaurants are often also open to non-residents. Restaurants range from unpretentious lunching or dining places catering to people working nearby with simple food and fixed menus served in simple settings at low prices to expensive establishments serving expensive specialty food and wines in a formal setting. Classification of restaurants. Restaurants can be classified by whether they provide places to sit, whether they are served by wait staff and the quality of the service, the formal atmosphere and the price range. Restaurants are generally classified into three groups. Quick service, also known as fast food restaurants. They offer limited menus that are prepared quickly. They usually have driven-through windows and takeout. They may also be self-service outfits. Mid-scale. They offer full meals at a medium price that customers perceive as good value. They can be of full service, buffets and limited service with customers ordering at the counter and having their food brought to them or self-service. Upscale. Offer high quality cuisine at a high-end price. They offer full service and have a high quality of ambience. Types of restaurants. There are many types of restaurant. Fast food restaurants, fast casual dining, cafe, pub, casual style dining, fine dining, fast food restaurant. Fast food is the most familiar restaurant to most people. Chains like McDonald's and Burger King became popular in the 1950s and helped spawn countless other concepts like Taco Bell, KFC and In-N-Out Burger. Fast food service attracted customers for its speed and convenience. Fast food restaurants are typically chains. If we are thinking of opening a fast food franchise, keep in mind that the initial costs of franchising are more expensive than opening an independent restaurant. Fast casual dining. This is one of the biggest trends right now. Fast casual is slightly more upscale than fast food. Fast casual restaurants offer disposable dishes and flatware, but their food tends to be presented as more upscale, such as gourmet breads and organic ingredients. Open kitchens are popular with fast casual chains, where customers can see their food being prepared. Boston Market is classified as fast casual. Cafe. A cafe is a restaurant that does not offer table service. Customers order their food from a counter and serve themselves. A cafe menu traditionally offers things such as coffee, espresso, pastries, and sandwiches. Cafes originated in Europe and are strongly associated with France. They are known for their casual, unhurried atmosphere. Outdoor seating is another trademark of a cafe. Panera Bread is an example of a popular bakery cafe chain. Pub, short for public house. Pubs date back to hundreds of years to Europe, especially Great Britain. Pubs have a timeless appeal for their laid-back atmosphere. Brew pubs offer beer made in-house as well as a wide selection of other beers and ales. Pubs can offer full menus as well as appetizers. Many casual-style restaurants have a separate pub side to their establishment. Casual-style dining. Casual-style restaurants offer moderately priced entries. This is one of the largest markets in the US right now. Casual style dining can be any number of themes, from Italian, Olive Garden to seafood, Red Lobster to Mexican, Chili's. Casual style restaurants offer tableside service, non-disposable dishes while still keeping the menu moderately priced. Fine dining. Just as the name implies, fine dining is used to describe a much more upscale restaurant, one that offers diners an elegant atmosphere with high quality service. The chefs in fine dining restaurants are usually professionally trained, and the food is fairly expensive but worth it. Competition between other pubs and cafes. There are many pubs and cafes in Central, especially in Lan Kwai Fong. Therefore, we need some ways to attract customers. Ours design and environment are selling ours pubs. It provides a comfortable and silent place for our customers. This nature of design is special in Mong Kok. It is difficult to find another pub or cafe in Mong Kok, although there are some in Central. Thus, it can avoid much competition. If new pubs copy our style, it still has some differences. We should have confidence on our benchmark made. As they copy our design, it already represents ours. One is very good. If we find that the competition is really very serious, we can think of transforming our style, such as Cyberfield providing comics. Did you know in N-Out's first location was opened in Baldwin Park, California in 1948 by the Snyders at the southwest corner of what is now the intersection of Interstate 10 and Francis Quito Avenue in the Los Angeles suburb of Baldwin Park, California. Restaurants and their subdivisions, duties and responsibilities of restaurant staff. All types of catering establishments require a variety of staff positions in order to operate effectively and efficiently. The Food and Beverage Service Department usually has the largest staff. Able leadership and supervision is required to effectively direct the department and guide the staff. The personnel in the food and beverage service industry require practical knowledge of operations, as even a small error can cause displeasure to the guest. Coordination of activities of all outlets is essential to provide the guest with quality service at all times. Teamwork is a watchword in any food and beverage service department. A dedicated and committed team with able leadership under ideal working conditions helps in fulfilling the establishment's ultimate goal of guest satisfaction.
A few other things that you need to know about what a server should be doing and what a server shouldn't be doing. Number one, server should show up for work at least 15 minutes before the shift. That's on time. They should be in uniform. A lot of places have solid color uniforms, no buttons, nothing to distract from the customer interaction. The customer is forced to look at your face if everything else on you is black or everything else on you is white. Not a lot of distractions. Second thing, you want to make sure that you're not too buddy-buddy with the customers. You can have a very pleasant time with them, but you are not their best pals, and you never want to sit down at a chair and take an order from a customer. That is very unprofessional. You find the host or the hostess of the party, you speak with them, you welcome them to your establishment, you tell them your name, because you know what? If you do a great job, they're going to come back and ask for you specifically next time. And if you build those regular customers, those are the kinds of employees that restaurant owners love, because people will seek them out. Always make sure to offer cocktail drinks before, if anybody would like a cocktail or anything like that. Put the wine list down, put the menus out, talk about any of your specials. In the meantime, if somebody's ordered cocktails, the customers can be looking over the menu. At that point, one thing that I find is a big pet peeve of mine personally when I go out is that people want you to choose your wine before you've picked out your food. I've made no bones about it and told servers before that I will be happy to choose my wine after everybody has ordered their food, so we can pick a wine, hopefully that will match everybody's palate, everybody's taste for the food that they picked out that evening. After the food is down, go see another table really quickly, check on them, or maybe pour somebody, refill their water, and then come right back. Because if somebody's food is not correct, There's nothing worse than having to wait for 10 minutes while everyone else's food is being consumed, or everyone else's food is getting cold because they're waiting for the incorrect food to be fixed. Clear the table as shown before, and then go ahead and bring out the next course from the left side if it's eaten with a fork, from the right side if it's eaten with a spoon. Always clear from the right. Refill drinks often. Never, ever empty a bottle of wine on the first round around the table, because then it seems like the host or hostess may be cheap, and you never want them to look that way in front of their customers, in front of their guests. Even if there's 15 people, you make that 1 750 milliliter bottle, make it for 15 pours so everybody gets some, and then you leave it back with the host or hostess, and then they can tell you if they would like to have another bottle of wine for the table or not. Check back often, but not in a pushy way. Just come back, and a lot of times just eye contact will make customers very happy. You know when they may be looking for something else. They have that look where they're looking around for you. You want to make sure they don't have to look around for you long. You want to make sure that when you are not busy, which is never in the restaurant, but when you don't have anything pressing right then, you want to be where you can be seen by the people at your tables to make sure that you can get that eye contact. And don't pull one of these if you see somebody with eye contact and turn away. That is the worst, because anybody who's in the restaurant business knows that trick, and they'll be really mad at you. And who tips better than restaurant employees? Bring the check out, put it down, wait for the tender on the payment. Never ask if people want change for that. They will volunteer that if they say keep the change if it's cash. Never, if say they pay with a $100 bill and the tip the bill itself was $90, you bring them back $10. You bring them back exact change. If it was $95.42, you bring them back the exact change. That's it's not rude that way. Once they have finished everything up, you clear up the table, thank them, make sure you ask them to return. You can tell them your name again, and wish them on their way.
Food and Beverage Manager. The Food and Beverage Manager is the head of the Food and Beverage Service Department and is responsible for its administrative and operational work. Food and beverage managers direct, plan, and control all aspects of food and beverage services. Food and beverage managers require excellent sales and customer service skills, proven human resource management skills, and good communication and leadership skills. Desired knowledge of this position includes knowledge of the products, services, sector, industry, and local area, and knowledge of relevant legislation and regulations as well. Hence, it is said that food and beverage in general, food and beverage manager is responsible for budgeting. The food and beverage manager is responsible for preparing the budget for the department. He should ensure that each outlet in the department achieves the estimated profit margins. Compiling new menus and wine lists. In consultation with the chef and based on the availability of ingredients and prevailing trends, the food and beverage manager should update and, if necessary, compile new menus. New and updated wine lists should also be introduced regularly. Quality control. The food and beverage manager should ensure quality control in terms of efficiency in all service areas by ascertaining that the staff are adequately trained in keeping with the standards of the unit. Manpower development. The food and beverage manager is responsible for recruitment, promotions, transfers, and dismissals in the department. He should hold regular meetings with part heads to ensure that both routine as well as projected activities of the department go on as planned. He must also give training, motivate, and effectively control staff. Assistant Food and Beverage Manager. The Assistant Food and Beverage Manager assists the Food and Beverage Manager in running the department by being more involved in the actual day-to-day operations. This position exists only in large organizations. An Assistant Food and Beverage Manager's job includes assisting section heads during busy periods, taking charge of an outlet when an outlet manager is on leave, setting duty schedules for all the outlet managers and monitoring their performance, running the department independently in the absence of the food and beverage manager. Restaurant manager. Restaurant manager is responsible for directing and supervising all activities pertaining to employee relation, food production, sanitation, guest service, and operating profits. The restaurant manager is either the coffee shop manager, bar manager, or the specialist restaurant manager. The restaurant manager reports directly to the food and beverage manager and has overall responsibility for the organization and administration of a particular outlet or a part of the food and beverage service department. Room service manager. The room service manager reports directly to the food and beverage manager and is responsible for the room service outlet. Bar manager. Bar manager organizes and controls a bar's operations. A bar manager arranges the purchase and pricing of beverages based on budget, selects, trains and supervises bar staff, maintains records of stock levels and financial transactions, makes sure bar staff follow liquor laws and regulations, and checks on customer satisfaction and preferences. Banquet manager. The banquet manager supervises the banquet operations, sets up breakdown service according to the standards established by the hotel. It coordinates the banquet service in conjunction with other departments involved and prepares weekly schedules for the banquet personnel. New trends in hotel room service. One of the perks of staying in a hotel, in addition to having someone wake up in the morning and make bed, is being able to pick up a phone and have food delivered right to the door. Room service appeals to guests for many reasons. After a long day of meetings, we can unwind with meal without having to get dressed for dinner. If traveling solo, not have to deal with a table for one in the dining room. Room service is quick and easy. And who does not get just a little thrill when the waiter lifts that silver dome with a flourish? Executive travel has been wondering about the latest developments in the world of room service, so we decided to track in-room dining trends in hotels around the country. Here's what we found. Trend 1. Synergy between the in-house restaurant and in-room dining. Many top chefs who have opened restaurants within hotels are now tinkering with the room service menu or even handling all the food and beverage operations at the property, from the restaurant to the lounges to in-room dining. Chefs are also adding their own gourmet spin to traditional room service items like burgers and salads, as well as expanding in-room menus with dishes from the on-site restaurant. As a result, guests will find that room service is no longer an afterthought but an integral component of the overall food and beverage picture. Trend 2. Organic and locally grown foods on in-room dining menus. Food and beverage directors are noticing that guests in their quest for healthier eating are asking more detailed questions about the cuisine, which are: where does it come from? How is it prepared? What's the portion size? What's the calorie count? Louis Hotels recently launched its brand-wide Adopt a Farmer program, which supports area farmers, anglers and independent purveyors. For example, Louis Miami Beach uses produce from Paradise Farms in Homestead, while Louis Regency in New York buys cheese from the Hudson Valley's Old Chatham Sheep Herding Company. Starwood's Westing Hotels has teamed up with Dr. Stephen Pratt, who founded the Superfoods movement, which emphasizes fruit, vegetables, grains, and proteins and how they interact with each other for maximum health benefits. Some of the signature superfoods dishes include sesame soy, glazed ahi tuna salad, and broiled green tea infused salmon. Trend 3. The return of comfort food. Despite the fact that healthy dishes are on the rise, another clear emerging trend is renewed enthusiasm for comfort food. One of the obvious reasons why comfort food reminds weary road warriors of home and family. These dishes also tend to be filling, quick to prepare, and on the less expensive side, a definite advantage nowadays. Trend 4. Desserts are on the rise. Desserts, another member of the comfort food family, have traditionally been low sellers on in-room dining menus, but lately orders have spiked. The Liberty offers milk and cookies, the ultimate throwback to childhood, while the Ritz-Carlton Central Park South offers New York-style cheesecake and half pints of homemade ice cream. Caramel is one of the top sellers. Ancillary departments. The ancillary department of the restaurant area includes important part in the makeup of a catering establishment, acting as a link between kitchens or food preparation parts and the restaurant or food service parts. The service areas behind the scene can also be termed as back of house. The service areas are stocked with appropriate equipment depending on the style of operation. The service areas themselves are some of the busiest parts of a catering establishment, especially during the service periods. In general, especially in large hotels, 5 main service areas can be distinguished: still room, silver or plate room, wash up, hot plate, spare linen store. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Maintenance therefore has to be done throughout the year, requiring competent staff to undertake building services, operation and maintenance, supplemented by our outsourced contractors. Service is generally for eating on premises, though the term has been used to include takeout establishments and food delivery services. The food and beverage service department usually has the largest staff. Able leadership and supervision is required to effectively direct the department and guide the staff. The restaurant manager reports directly to the food and beverage manager and has overall responsibility for the organization and administration of a particular outlet or a section of the food and beverage service department. Despite the fact that healthy dishes are on the rise, another clear emerging trend is renewed enthusiasm for comfort food. The ancillary department of the restaurant area includes important parts in the makeup of a catering establishment, acting as the link between kitchens or food preparation parts and the restaurant or food service parts.